All right, guys. So, perimenopause is an interesting phase of life, and everybody is talking about it these days. I wanted to chime in because I love bringing my perspective and my solutions to these kind of things. I love to simplify everything, so that's what we're going to be talking about. And obviously, having a natural approach to this. A lot of people are talking about bioidentical hormones, replacement, and all of that. So if that's what you need, if that's what's good for you, absolutely go for it. But I think for the majority of women, they could implement some of these tips and some of these tools and feel like themselves again. So that is what I am going to share. So um, first of all, you might not be familiar with what the heck perimenopause is. So basically, if you're feeling exhausted, you're feeling foggy, moody, anxious, you don't sleep well, there's changes in your hair and in your skin, it could very well be perimenopause. And what I'm seeing online a lot in discussions and what I'm hearing from women my age is like a general acceptance of this is just how it is now. This is how our bodies are, and we just have to accept these symptoms. I am not here for it. I'm not into that. I don't believe that perimenopause has to wreck your life. I think there's maybe a little bit of a gimmick and exploitation of that word in some cases, and everything seems to be put in the same pot. Well, it is kind of a big period of life, but it doesn't have to be complicated. I know it can feel like a crazy puzzle to solve. And because the symptoms that I named are just a few. Like some people are getting like crazy itchy ears, like smell weird smells, like the weirdest thing. So it can be tempting to be like trying to put fires out, like as the symptoms come up. Okay, now I have another symptom to deal with. And I am not really into looking at symptoms. I rather look at what is the root cause that is causing this and what can we do about it. And it's actually a lot more simple than we think. If you've been following me for a while, you know I like simple, and especially when it comes to taking care of myself, I like simple and effective. That's why I fell in love with essential oils, because there is so much power in just one drop of these. And I always found them super effective. So, what I want to share tonight is some tips to help you through this phase of life so that you don't feel like a train wreck. Sounds like a plan? I want to show you that you can actually support your body in this phase, like through this phase, and kind of coast through it without noticing many symptoms. I think that's a good deal. So, what the heck is perimenopause? Well, it's a period of life, they say, between 35 and 50, and it can last between 2 and 10 years. So, thanks for nothing. That's like the most vague thing ever. But what makes perimenopause tricky is that the hormones level are not declining like this. I don't know if you've noticed, they can fluctuate wildly, more like a roller coaster. And so I really want to start by explaining what happens in our bodies so that we can understand what we need to look at. Like if we're going to look at the root cause, what do we need to try to fix exactly, right? So the first thing that happens is estrogen becomes unpredictable. I'm just laughing because you're probably like, yeah, I have noticed. It goes up and down in wild patterns. So that messes up with mood, sleep, temperature regulation, hello, hot flashes, brain functions, the brain fog, the emotional swings. So that's your estrogen roller coaster. Then the second thing that happens is the decline of progesterone. Progesterone is the calming, balancing hormone. And when it declines, you're starting to see issues with sleep because progesterone helps you fall asleep, stay asleep. You start seeing changes in anxiety levels because progesterone has a calming effect on the brain. And then you might start seeing PMS symptoms like you're back in high school. Yay! The third thing, sorry, I gotta make fun of this somehow. We gotta laugh, right? So the third thing is cortisol, the stress hormone. It takes center stage. You've probably seen these ads that talk about cortisol and cortisol belly, and then, anyways, sometimes it doesn't really make sense, the solution they offer. But basically, what happens is when your stress levels are high and your body is tired from trying to compensate, cortisol can dominate. And this is because cortisol and progesterone, they use the same pathway for production in our body. So when you're constantly stressed and your body is constantly busy producing cortisol, well, it steals away from the production of progesterone. So that makes a hot mess, and you get even less progesterone. You're producing even less progesterone. So that's an issue. So that's stress. That's cortisol. The next thing is your brain's messengers are basically out of sync. So estrogen has an influence on serotonin that regulates your mood, then dopamine, your motivation, and GABA is your calming neurotransmitter. It's like the brakes on the brain. So when your estrogen shifts, then your mood, your focus, your anxiety level often shift too. So basically what this is saying is that everything is connected. And there really is, there's no singling one hormone out, and everything is very, very much connected and influences each other. Your hormones, you've probably noticed this too, affect digestion and metabolism. So, estrogen affects gut movement and microbiome balance, and so that changes your digestion. Then there's your liver that can become sluggish because of over time, or as we age, we might accumulate more toxins. Everything gets tired. So if your liver is more sluggish, then there can be excess estrogen recirculating in your body, and that worsens symptoms. And then you have your metabolism that can slow down, that might cause weight gain, but we're not going to be talking about that because that's depressing. So if you're recognizing any of these symptoms, listen on, because I am going to share some important tips to really help your body while it recalibrates, because that's kind of what it is. It's like this natural change that happens, but what can you do to support yourself in this phase so that you're not experiencing all these crazy symptoms while your body is figuring itself out? So the first one is some healthy habits that make a huge difference. And I know for a lot of us, we might have maybe struggled with weight our whole life. I know that's my case, and I don't want to hear about any diet ever again. But so this is not what it is, okay? So really think of this tip as giving your body the proper fuel so that you can feel great. So, because I know you're probably seeing everywhere, eat more protein because it's good for your muscles and all of that good stuff, and it's true. So you focusing more on eating protein and healthy fats each meal makes a huge difference. So it makes a huge difference on your blood sugar balance. And I know you might think I'm not diabetic or even pre-diabetic, and that's great. But hormone fluctuations already disrupt blood sugar, and everybody gets blood sugar spikes after they eat, and especially after you eat a lot of simple carbs and sugars. So what happens is that contributes even more to your hormones roller coaster. So you want to make sure as much as possible that you're keeping your blood sugar nice and level, nice and steady. So what really helps is having some healthy fats and protein, and make sure that when you eat your carbs, it's complex carbs. So estrogen and progesterone both affect how your body handles glucose and insulin. So, with all of these fluctuations, that's why you might be feeling hangry and exhausted between meals, even if you didn't before, that's actually a perimenopause symptom. So that focusing on what you're eating more is going to help in a huge way. So the next thing is moving your body. So moving your body, I'm talking about not necessarily hitting the gym big time, but go for walks, go for more walks. It's like a natural hormone tune-up and really, really helps with balance. So make sure that you try to do that every day. And that's another thing, don't see that as, oh, I'm trying to lose weight. No, you are blessing your hormone balance and hormone production. The next thing is prioritizing your sleep. So just having a good habits at bedtime, not being on the screen until you fall asleep, because that will really mess up with your melatonin production. Just having light, so dimming the light is also great. And so prioritizing a good amount of sleep. And I'm going to give you some tips in a couple minutes to help with that. And then starting your day with lemon water will help give your liver a good start so that it's not sluggish, and helps get rid of excess hormones so that it's not recirculating in your body. And then managing stress. So managing stress with ways that work for you. So it might be journaling, it might be using your essential oils, breath work, putting in boundaries. That's what we do at our age. I find I'm having so many of these discussions with women my age. We just don't accept toxicity very much anymore. So whatever helps your system reset. So okay, so next, here are some tips and some tools. Okay, so Clary Calm is a blend of essential oils that many women use on a regular basis that help with mood swings, tension, hormonal shifts. It doesn't contain hormones, but it supports your body's ability to regulate them. So that's really helpful. Basically, Clary Calm, the oils in Clary Calm help smooth that roller coaster of fluctuating estrogen. So lots of great essential oils, and properties of these oils are really top notch. Okay, the second thing is supplementing. So doTERRA has two different whole food supplements that are great. Okay, there's a pill version and then a liquid version, a drink version. This gives your body the foundational nutrients that your body needs for energy, hormone production, and helps your mood be more stable. So with nutrients like vitamin D, selenium, healthy fats, omega-3s, these are all literally essential building blocks for your hormones. You need those. And without them, your body can't properly make or metabolize estrogen, progesterone, cortisol. and and apart from helping with hormone production, because those nutrients are fuel for your body, supplementing during perimenopause is more important than ever, because as we age, we tend to absorb nutrients a little less, not as well. Anyways, digestion can be slowed down, right? And you'll really feel a difference when you start supplementing from a system that your body can really assimilate. It's bioavailable. The other thing that's going to happen with this kind of supplementation is that low grade inflammation that a lot of us experience will calm down, will come down, because there's a lot of ingredients in there that are not only anti-inflammatory, but your body reacts with inflammation when there's vitamins and nutrients deficiencies too. Your body reacts with inflammation when it's exposed to a lot of toxins. I mean, the list goes on. So you really want to reduce that inflammation as much as possible, because it causes hot flashes, joint pain, fatigue, sleep problems. So there's a double whammy there. So because in both of these systems, there's a lot of anti-inflammatory and antioxidants that help calm that down. And then you have also, you'll see an improvement in your energy, the energy function. So your cells at the cellular level will function more efficiently. So the third thing is detox and estrogen clearance. So I was talking about earlier how the liver can get sluggish with time and with age and toxin exposures and all of that. So our body already has these cleansing organs to detox. So this is not so much about detoxing as much as it is supporting your cleansing organs and making sure that they're not being lazy. So you want to make sure that you're supporting that so that you are really eliminating the excess estrogen and managing that extra stress, inflammation, and toxins that can build up. So there's Zendocrine soft gels and Zendocrine detox complex that will help your liver and your kidney, making sure that it's not sluggish and can get rid of these extra hormones that are making you moody. All right. The next thing is sleep and stress. So I already talked about cortisol. Okay, so that's a hormone disruptor. And it's basically the main thing that you have to focus on okay, so I have to focus on all the things, but it is really a big culprit in the hormone imbalance that a lot of women are experiencing during perimenopause, because when that stress hormone takes center stage, everything is down regulated because the cortisol production like just takes over, and everything else like, hey, we don't have time, we don't have energy for you, we must produce cortisol. And that's needed in certain cases. You need cortisol. You need that for certain moments when someone breaks in front of you in the car, or you go to grab your child from running across the street. That's what it's for. The problem is when it's elevated all the time because of life stressors from poor stress management. So you have to make sure that you do everything you can to lower stress, because it really will disrupt hormone, especially progesterone that we talked about is on the decline already when you're in that perimenopause phase that can last like 15 years. Good times. Okay. So what can you use to help with that? So you can use an oil like adaptive that I always have with me lately. And balanced oil is another great one. So that really helps bring calm to the body and regulate these emotional ups and downs. But really at an emotional level, at a chemical level, it will help your brain get out of that fight or flight that we find ourselves in sometimes, and we don't even realize it. We're in that fight or flight mode and survival mode, and it's become so familiar and so normal that we don't even realize it. Our cortisol level is through the roof. We're stressed, but it feels normal. So that will help with helping you get to that stage where you're just kind of stepping out of that fight or flight mode and being more calm and grounded. So the next thing is sleep. So what can you use to help with sleep is something like the Serenity soft gels. They are amazing for calming the nervous system and getting into a deeper, more restorative sleep, which really helps your body reset and helps your hormones reset. Because without a good sleep, I don't have to tell you, but everything is harder. Your mood is all over the place. You have hard time focusing. Your immunity is affected, and so on. So Serenity will help your body get into that rest and repair state so that you feel more rested when you wake up. So I know that a lot of women tell me about their sleep is they don't understand because they feel like they're sleeping. So they're in bed and they're dozed off. They think they're sleeping, but they feel like totally not restored. It's not the right word. Refreshed in the morning. So try the Serenity soft gels. I tried. I didn't think I needed it because I kept telling myself I'm sleeping. Like I'm sleeping between this time and this time. But I am really feeling a difference. I can get a 7 hour sleep and I don't wake up and I feel refreshed. I mean, it truly is super helpful for everything. Okay, the gut health. So what can you use to help with those digestion changes? So you can use something like PB Assist, which is a probiotic that helps regulate estrogen metabolism. And another one that I really like is Zengest. So that's a blend of essential oils with oils like ginger, fennel, peppermint, caraway. You know, these are all herbs that we are very familiar with. If you drink tea, that you know that these feel good on your tummy, right? So these oils are really powerful for just really helping digestion, relieving bloating and gas, improving the movement in the gut that can slow down with during perimenopause and just calm an upset and or sluggish stomach. So I really love Zengest. I pretty much take it every day just to help with that since I'm starting to notice a little bit of changes there. And also keep in mind, because we talked about how this endocrine will help with your liver and making sure that it's nice and doing its job and it's not sluggish and getting lazy. So this goes kind of with that as well. When digestion flows well, your liver, your gut, they're doing their job at eliminating the excess hormones that can cause problems. And then the extra, so I put this one at the end, is the MetaPower Advantage. So MetaPower Advantage has two powerful things in it. The first thing is NMN. So by the way, most people know this one as doTERRA's collagen. So the thing is, it's not your regular collagen. There's two different things in it. One that you won't find in other collagen, which is NMN. So this helps your cells make energy more efficiently. It's basically helping your body produce more NAD, which is the useful molecule. So that will help at all kinds of levels, but basically think of it as recharging the energy of your cells as if you were 25 years old. So really, really great product. And then there's 9 types of collagen that help support not just the skin, which was definitely one of them, but also joints and bones. Super important. And it will also assist your metabolism that maybe has slowed down a little bit. So, so that's the MetaPower Advantage. Okay, so I covered all of the tips I wanted to share with you guys. So if you are going through perimenopause right now, you're starting to wonder, maybe this is what it is, because it does sound like it. I did make a guide. I put all of these tips in a PDF ready, like just ready to go. I can just send it to you, just message me. So that it's all in one place, and described also those healthy habits that I started with to help remind you, because as you know, sometimes memory is one of those things that is in and out. And if you would like to try any of these products, I will put like a generic cart in the comments, both on Instagram and on Facebook. But if you would like to chat with me and just ask some specifics, maybe you struggle more with stress or more with sleep, then I will help you make a custom cart so that it makes more sense for your needs. So just let me know, just private message me, and I will be happy to help you. All right, so thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time.